Winter's on the wing, here's a fine spring morn. Coming clear through the night comes the day, I say. Winter's taken flight, sweeping dark, cold air out to sea. Spring is born, comes the day, I say, and you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all a day. Stoop and feel it. Stop and hear it. Spring, I say. And you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the day. Stoop and feel it. Stop and hear it. Spring, I say.
Good morning. Oh, we had like such enthusiastic music, so I want us to rise to that with one more good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to United First Parish Church. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey, welcome to our Unitarian Universalist spiritual community. It is good to be together this morning. As we gather today, we acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Neponset Band of the Massachusetts tribe, a people who have lived here for generations and who live here to this day. I'm the Reverend Rebecca Froom, lead minister here at UFPC, and my pronouns are she and her. Friends from near and far, long-term members and visitors alike, welcome. Folks joining us in person in our historic sanctuary and folks joining us over Zoom, welcome. If this is one of your first or second times visiting with us and you feel comfortable, I invite you to raise your hand up high so that our greeters and ushers might bring you a small token of welcome. Right here in the center, Marilyn. Yes, welcome visitors. We hope you and everyone will join us after the service for social hour. We gather in the parish hall, which you can reach through these doors on either side of the pulpit. I'll be standing by the door on your right and look forward to greeting folks after the service. And as always, we've got a great team of folks making worship happen this morning. So many thanks to our greeters and ushers, Paul and Bill and Marilyn. We have Carl and Noel on live stream. We have our ministerial intern, Ann Parsley, and our director of religious education and family ministry, Elizabeth Foster, joining me at the front. And our music today is from Tony Winters, acting music director, and our UFPC Choir, who will be singing the words of Langston Hughes. So thank you all for sharing your gifts, your service, your time with us And our flowers, of course, in honor of May Day, from our flower committee of Pat and Claire and Allegra and Kate. We strive to be a welcoming community to people of all ages and abilities. So in the back of the sanctuary, near our ushers, you will find large print hymnals, hearing assistance headsets, which can also be helpful for folks who are sensitive to distracting background noise. There's children's books and busy bags and drawing materials that families are welcome to bring to their seats. Our bathrooms are located on the lower level, accessible by stairs or elevator through the foyer. And if you need to use the bathroom during the service, please see a greeter. Now this week, we are initiating a new option for sharing in joys and sorrows later in the service. We are now have Joys and Sorrows cards, which you are welcome to fill out. They're located by the ushers, so if anyone wants to fill out a Joys and Sorrows card, you can head back there during the service. We will still have spoken joys and sorrows. So this is an option for folks who want to write their thoughts out ahead of time, or are introverted, or might be downstairs with the children. It expands how we can participate. Folks on Zoom will still write their joys and sorrows in the chat. And if you do choose to do a spoken joys and sorrow, please keep it brief so that we might all share the space. So this gives a little guidance for, for how much to share. So we'll be piloting that for the rest of the spring, and then the worship committee will chat and see, debrief how this edition of Joys and Sorrows cards is going. And now, as we prepare ourselves for worship, let us take a deep breath together, feeling that spirit of life and love that moves within, between, and beyond us all. And I invite Elizabeth Foster to share a reading as we light our chalice, symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith tradition.
Our chalice lighting this morning is from Kimberly Ann Tomchak Carlson. We are a people of beauty, recognizing the beauty around us and within us. In voice and spirit, we gather to light our chalice. May we savor the beauty of our abundance and diversity, always cherishing one another and our earth. May we remember to inhale the lushness in life, knowing that we are a people of beauty.
Thank you. And please rise as you are willing and able, and join in reading our congregation's words of covenant. The words are found in your order of service or in the chat on Zoom. As a free fellowship of this historic church, we unite to lift our hearts and open our minds to a larger reality, to accept, support, and encourage one another, to seek the wisdom in all religions, to cherish and sustain the web of life, and to strive for justice, compassion, and peace. And in this spirit of fellowship and peace, let us greet one another. And as we remain standing, we're going to lift our voices in song, and Tony's going to lead us in a version of Bright Morning Stars. That's different than our hymnals, so we're going to listen and follow along.
So this version of this piece was written by someone named Matt Meyer, someone who happens to live in the same house as our minister. And goes a little something like this. Bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Try that with me now. Bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Great. Let's try rise up and hear your calling. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. We'll build this world together. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. We'll sing out loud for justice. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. Bright morning stars. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul. One more time with that. Bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul.
Thank you. You may be seated. And that is found in the virtual hymnal Sing Out Love that UUs have started working with this year. So now I invite our children and young people and Spirit Circle team to come up to these front pews, because Anne has a message for all ages for us.
All right, hello. So I have a basket for us today. This is our mystery basket. Who wants to find out what's in the mystery basket? And there's more than one thing. Take one. Just take one. And it's a good thing there are four of you, because there were four things. So everybody should have a different thing. And what do you have, Ben?
A fern.
A fern. What do you have, Eamon?
A water lily.
Water lily. And what do you have, Eamon's father?
Sunflower.
And what do you have, Alex?
Cactus.
Cactus. So we've got a cactus, a sunflower, a water lily, and a fern. All right. So we are talking today about seeds of friendship. But it's interesting that seeds are all different, and some plants don't even have seeds. So different seeds, different ways of growing, and different plants that come out of them. So just for a start, let's look at the plants rather than the seeds. Who's got a plant that likes to have a lot of sun? Hold it up so the people can see the picture. You should hold yours up too, Eamon. I know it says water lily, and it grows in the water, in the middle of the pond, but that's where there's no trees to shade it, so it also likes sun. And the sunflower is called a sunflower because it turns to face the sun. And of course, the cactus likes the desert. Okay, put them down. Who has got a plant that likes not very much sun? Yeah, that was kind of obvious, wasn't it? The fern. They grow in the forest, in the shade. You put them in the desert with a cactus, they'll be dead in a day. Who's got a plant that likes a lot of water? Fern does too. Yeah. Ferns like to be always a little wet. Water lilies have to be in the middle of the pond, and a sunflower likes to be watered every week or so, but not a cactus. Cactus doesn't want to be watered more than once a month. All right. So, ferns have little tiny, tiny spores. They're like dust. They don't even really have seeds, and they blow in the wind. Sunflower seeds, you've seen them. They're like the size of your fingernail. And they're in the middle of the sunflower, exactly. Cactus seeds are like sesame seeds. They're in a fruit, usually. They can be different. And water lily seeds are about like a walnut. And if you throw them in the water, they sink because they have to grow from the mud at the bottom. But if you throw fern spores into the water, they will float and get eaten by the fish, and they won't grow at all. So everything has to have its right place to grow and its right situation. And that counts for seeds that grow into plants, and it counts for seeds that grow into friendships. So think about your friends. Are they all the same? Do they all like the same things? No. Do you like all the same things that all of your friends like? Probably not. And if you did, it would be a very boring world, right? So I have two friends, Margie and Larimar. Larimar is like a sunflower. When we get together, we talk. We drink tea, and we talk some more, and we talk a lot, and we talk a lot. And for Larimar, friendship is all about conversations. If you have anything you like, you talk about it. I used to be a teacher. Larimar is studying to be a teacher. We talk about teaching, but we also talk about families and friends and relationships and politics and all sorts of things. But my friendship with Larimar is all about the conversations. Margie is a different friend, and we talk, but instead of sitting around drinking tea, we go walk in the woods, and always some part of it, we're walking in silence, or we're just sitting by the pond looking at the water lilies and the dragonflies. Because Margie likes quiet. Margie is not a person who wants to talk all the time. And if you want to be Margie's friend, you need to be quiet sometimes. And sitting quietly with Margie is a wonderful friendship also. The seed of the friendship with Larimar is that she used to be my daughter's friend in high school, and I was introduced. But my daughter has grown up and moved out, and Larimar lives around the corner, and so now we're just friends by ourselves. And that seed grew through our shared love of teaching. And Margie was a church friend. I don't actually remember how we met, but we talk about religion a lot, because Margie used to be a Hebrew school teacher. And if you think about all your friends, do you have a friend who's like a sunflower, all bright and vivacious and full of life, big and bold? You do? Can you tell me that friend's name? All right. Sorry to put you on the spot, Eamon. Ben?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Do you have a friend who's really quiet? Anybody? Really likes to just sit with you and be in the same room? They're still friends. Everybody's different. And whatever seed gets planted, whether someone introduces you or you meet by chance, you have a common interest, you have a common problem, give the friend what they need, and you'll have a friendship grow. And it will be all different. So, it is time for you all to go to your spirit circles. You can take the pictures if you want, or you can leave them in the basket, as you wish. All right. And
Let's sing them on their way.
As you go, lay joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go.
Through the sharing of our joys and our sorrows, We create a sacred space where we are deeply present with ourselves or one another. This is a time for us to briefly share those life milestones that lift our spirits in joy or hope, or the pains and losses that fill us with heartache. If you have a joy or a sorrow to share, there are several ways to share. Some folks, perhaps next week, may choose to fill out a joys and sorrows card, or folks in this sanctuary can come forward to this microphone to share a spoken joy or sorrow. Alternatively, you can raise your hand and Marilyn will bring the microphone to you. May the light of these candles and the compassion of this community remind us that wherever we are on our journey, each of us is worthy of love, and each of us is able to love. Let us take a deep breath together, returning to that breath of life and love that is always there to ground and guide us. Breathe in, finding some height and strength in your back. Breathe out, releasing some small bit of tension from your body. Breathe in, breathe out, appreciating the gift of this day, appreciating the gift of this moment as we enter a time of shared meditation. Will you lift your hearts and join me in the spirit of prayer, listening in these words for the language of faith most meaningful to you? Eternal presence, known by many names, known in many ways. Creative spirit, source of life and love. We give thanks for the beauty of this day and for the company of those assembled here. We give thanks for the blessings of our lives, for the return to health, for the joy of moving our body in the spring weather. We give thanks for the gift of multi-generational community. We give thanks for the moments we pause and recognize joy. And we hold in our hearts all of those who are struggling with their health, struggling with addiction, struggling with security in their spirit or their home or their sense of safety. We hold in our hearts the elders amongst us, those who are entering later stages of illness, and we hold in our hearts all of the caregivers striving to show love and courage to their loved ones while also caring for themselves. We hold the blend of sorrow and joy in our lives, paired always with gratitude. And so, in the words of Lynn Cox, thank you for the breezes of change, clearing our heads and bringing fresh ideas. May they cleanse our minds of the oppressions and isms that divide us. Thank you for the flame of hope, the heat of righteous anger in times of injustice, the warmth of compassion and the fire of commitment. May they bubble the cauldrons of transformation. Thank you for oceans of love, rivers of connection, tears of relief, and pools of serenity. May healing waters flow over us and through us and among us, wearing down the sharp rocks of despair to bring joy in the morning. Thank you for the good earth beneath us, around us, and within us. May we take this clay and co-create a new realm of justice and beauty. Thank you for all these and more. We accept our gifts and commit to building, sculpting, painting, singing, and dancing them to life, to abundant life. So be it. Amen, and blessed be. As you remain seated, will you join me in singing Spirit of Life, hymn number 123.
Spirit
of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the land, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Our reading this morning is the poem The Seven of Pentacles by Marge Piercy. Under a sky the color of pea soup, she is looking at her work growing away there, actively, thickly, like grapevines or pole beans. As things grow in the real world, slowly enough, if you tend them properly, if you mulch, if you water, if you provide birds that eat insects a home and winter food, if the sun shines and you pick off caterpillars, if the praying mantis comes and the ladybugs and the bees, then the plants flourish, but at their own internal clock. Connections are made slowly, Sometimes they grow underground. You cannot tell always by looking what is happening. More than half the tree is spread out in the soil under your feet. Penetrate quietly as the earthworm that blows no trumpet. Fight persistently as the creeper that brings down the tree. Spread like the squash plant that overruns the garden. Gnaw in the dark and use the sun to make sugar. Weave real connections. Create real nodes. Build real houses. Live a life you can endure. Make love that is loving. Keep tangling and interweaving and taking more in. A thicket and bramble wilderness to the outside, but to us, interconnected with rabbit runs and burrows and layers. Live as if you like yourself, and it may happen. Reach out, keep reaching out, keep bringing in. This is how we are going to live for a long time, not always. For every gardener knows that after the digging, after the planting, after the long season of tending and growth, the harvest comes.
The song you are about to hear is called I Dream a World. It was written by Rollo Dilworth, but the text is by Langston Hughes from a poem that he wrote in 1941. And the language therefore reflects 1941. Now, the language that we may write poetry in these days may have more gender-inclusive language, but in 1941, they included he and him pronouns for all. So that is what you will be hearing today. This is I Dream a World.
I dream a world, yes, I dream a world.
The Bloomington Community Orchard started with a dream of free fruit for all, a dream of an edible forest in an urban environment to help with food insecurity and to build community. Poet and activist and gardener Ross Gay talks about this garden project in his beautiful book of essays, Inciting Joy. And in a later essay, he looks back several years after the orchard has started and reflects on the process. He writes, "Of course, the orchard began, as much as we can say a thing begins, with one young woman thinking about food security, which simply means having regular access to safe, nutritious food. Many individuals and communities around the world suffer from lack of food security for all kinds of reasons. One is an underutilization of productive food growing space. In other words, we need to reconsider where gardens and farms and orchards might exist." He continues, "Amy Countryman researched the Indiana city's urban canopy, its managed trees, to find out how much of it produced food, less than 2% it turns out. So she suggested that we do something about that. When she approached Bloomington's forester with her proposal for a free fruit for all community orchard, from which the harvest would go to whoever needed some, he quickly jumped on board and secured for the project an acre plot of land and some seed money. Large community meetings followed, committees were formed, and the hard work of building the dream began, remediating the soil, building compost, securing grants, designing the site, selecting trees, and more." He continues, "Hundreds, if not thousands of people from the community and beyond pitched in. This diverse crowd earned blisters and sore backs as they sweated through their shirts to help build their collective dream, to help feed their neighbors." Bloomington being a city, though a small one, most folks don't know all their neighbors. So this common dreaming, in addition to apples and plums and figs, is the real fruit of this orchard. The orchard is a way for us to imagine how to better care for one another, how to better love one another. In that community orchard, they planted their dreams and grew fruit for the body and fruit for the community spirit. Now, this service is inspired by two holidays observed on May 1st. One is the ancient Gaelic festival of Beltane, marking the midpoint between what we know of as the spring equinox and the summer solstice, the entry into spring and summer, a time for planting, a time for celebrating fertility and marriages, a holiday marked by blessings and planting and bonfires and dancing and joy. A holiday that makes its way into European folk traditions with the dancing of the maypole and has experienced a renaissance through the current observations of Wiccan and pagan practices. So that's one May 1st holiday, Beltane. And then we have a very different May 1st holiday, May Day, International Workers' Day. a holiday that comes out of the 19th century labor movement, the work of activism and agitation and protests and walkouts, the work to create an 8-hour workday and just conditions for workers. A day that continues as a day of protest and solidarity to this very year, when May Day rallies and boycotts were held this past Friday all around the country, linking the work of labor rights to our current political reality, where workers and their families are threatened by deportation and the many ways in which our social net is being eroded and civil rights being taken away. May Day, Workers' Day, marks solidarity as a growing movement. And so as I looked at these very different holidays side by side, a common theme that I began to see was the theme of growth, of planting seeds and nurturing their growth, of building movements and nurturing networks of solidarity that move human to human in a way reminiscent of how plant roots intermingle, like we heard in the poem by Marge Piercy, a poet who is a poet, a gardener, and an activist. So it's no surprise that her words echoes in these different ways. So as we heard in our message for all ages, seeds for different plants are grown in different environments. They have different needs of sun and shade and water. So as we think about growth of gardens and communities and social movements, I invite us to think about the different needs that each of these literal and metaphoric gardens might have, and the different gifts that can cultivate these gardens and communities and movements. In his many descriptions of this community orchard, Ross Gay describes how in moments of planting and harvesting, people of all ages are there with various skill levels, some teaching, some learning, some handing out water to the humans and watering the plants, children singing and dancing, the person who brought snacks and food to that planting workday, and also the time spent at the board table in that pivotal year that moved from dream to idea to actual garden. The creative community work that happened at those tables as ideas and potluck meals passed mind to mind and hand to hand. The dream is not just for the free fruit for all, but the common dreaming, as I earlier quoted, the common dreaming, in addition to apples and plums and figs, is the real fruit of this orchard. The orchard is a way for us to imagine how to better care for one another. What seeds are you planting or tending this season? What are the ways in which you are cultivating land and community to better care for one another? What dreams are you planting and tending? You might be tending a dream that you have been working hard on for a long time, a literal garden, a community organizing project, caring for elders or children, mentoring young adults, meaningful work. So this might be a season to continue cultivating those literal or proverbial gardens. Or perhaps there is a dream that you sought to plant and then kind of let go of many years ago. Or a dream from your ancestors or our collective ancestors, that it is perhaps now time to plant or to build. We have many metaphors to pick from today. Planting and building both require that open-hearted work of tending, of growth. Or perhaps you come into this season of abundant spring, ready to plant completely new dreams. Dreams that come from possibilities you are just beginning to see. Possibilities born out of need. Possibilities born out of opportunities. So truly take a moment. What growth do you wish to cultivate this season? What common dreaming for how to better love one another? When we plant seeds in the spring, when we join a social movement, when we have an early conversation in a friendship, we don't always know which seeds, which plants will survive all the way until the harvest. And yet, as that reading reminds us, we're not just following the final apples and plums and figs. We're not just building the house fully complete. We're learning and nurturing and nourishing one another along the way. So friends on the journey, in this springtime season, let us open our minds, our vision, our hearts to all of those connections that are made slowly. Let us look at the soil around us and the seeds that we have access to. Let us seek out fellow gardeners of land or spirit or community, and with care plant those seeds. Nurture them with whatever combination of conversation and silence and singing and protest is necessary. And together, return to these orchards of the open heart, these orchards where we learn how to better love one another, so that we might dream that just world into being, that world where there is space and time and love for all of us to dance with joy in spring's abundance. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Please rise as you are willing or able. We're going to sing together number 1017 in your teal hymnal. It's one of my favorite hymns. This is called Building a New Way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. 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 Hate and greed we can feed. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. We can build. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. Stronger every day. We are building a new way.
We drink from wells we did not dig, and we worship in a sanctuary we did not build. As a voluntary association, our church is sustained through the gifts of the members and friends of our congregation, past and present. We give because generosity is a core shared value of our faith. We give because no one alone can ever build a church building, no matter how much they want one. And one person alone is not a congregation. We give so that everyone can be welcome, including those who have no money to give, but only time or love to contribute. If this is your first time worshiping with us, please let the offering plate pass you by. Your presence here is your gift to us, and we hope you'll join us after the service for social hour in the parish hall. You can give online by going to ufpc.org and clicking on the donate button, or you can place a contribution in the offering plates. May the ushers come forward for the morning offering to support the good works of United First Parish Church. May it be joyfully given. Know that it will be gratefully received.
Here at United First Parish Church, we gather in many ways for worship and spiritual practice and to participate in the life and leadership of the congregation and more. And so before I go into announcements for upcoming programs, I want to do some thank yous for the chili auction and fundraiser that we had yesterday evening. First, a thank you to stewardship co-chairs Carl and Peter. Let's give them a round of applause. And Carl tells me that we made at least $1,300, though we're still tallying things up. And if you, like me, still need to pay your bill online, you can do that at ufpc.org. Click on the donate button, and there'll be a checkbox for the fundraiser. And to both thank people and to show how many people really participated, I'm going to thank a few people by name or category. And if you're able, if you're willing, I invite you to stand up, and then we can do applause at the end. So once again, Carl and Peter. And we had Nicole and Izzy and Marie-Louise and Brenda, who did so much with setup and more, and the chili auction itself. Special thanks to Janice Porter, to David Bosquin, to our Radiators band, which this go-around included Clyde and Sharon and Nate and Peter and Lee and Anne-Marie. Did I get everyone in the band, this year's band? Great. And for all of our cooks and bakers, go on and stand up. And for everyone who donated something to the auction, go ahead and stand up. Yeah, and for everyone who was there and had a good time, go ahead and stand up. Thank you one and all for making the fundraiser happen. You may be seated. You can read about our ongoing and upcoming programs in your announcement insert, which is also emailed to the congregation. If you'd like to be added to our email list, you can fill out a connection card in the parish hall or a virtual guest book on the website. You can fill out the virtual guest book form. A few things to highlight. Today after church is our writing group meeting facilitated by Leslie. So for long-term writers, for dabbling writers, it's a low pressure creative environment to participate in writing. Looking a little further ahead, next Sunday, our May Share the Plate is for Quincy Votes, connecting to our Defending Democracy commitment. You can read a little bit about Quincy Votes in the announcements. So if you're planning to be here next Sunday, the non-pledge contributions to the offering will be divided between Quincy Votes and the congregation. So bring some extra cash or a checkbook if you still have that, or you can make a donation online as well. And we accept the Share the Plate donations online throughout the entire month. So if you're not here on the second Sunday, you can still participate in that. And then save the date of May 31st after church is going to be our annual meeting held here in the sanctuary. So members of the congregation, especially, that's time to show up and vote, and friends of the congregation are also more than welcome to attend and hear what's going on in the congregation. And finally, a announcement from the live stream team, which is that they are looking for new members. We need one, ideally two folks to live stream the service. And we usually have like 5 to 10 folks participating over Zoom, hi Zoom folks, and then post the services on YouTube without Joys and Sorrows. We take that part out. So we need a great team to bring our message to folks who are zooming in from home or who are watching it afterwards on YouTube. So you can speak with Carl, or you can email Kendall, our communications coordinator, if you're interested in joining that team or returning to that team. And now I invite us to take another deep breath together. And rise as you are willing and able for our words of benediction. Placing your hands over your heart. Words by Kathleen McTeague. May the light around us guide our footsteps and hold us fast to the best and most righteous that we seek. May the darkness around us nurture our dreams and give us rest so that we might give ourselves to the work of the world. Let us seek to remember the wholeness of our lives, the weaving of light and shadow in this great and astonishing dance in which we move. May we go in peace and go in love to be a blessing to the world. And I invite you to turn towards the center aisle as we offer one another a sung benediction and extinguish the chalice.
Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A
That's my wife. Bless, I think.